Hey YouTube, welcome to Beyond the Hype. So a series I created to look at Pokemon with new moves and cut through all the sort of clickbait that you see. And we're going to go over Typhlosion with Thunder Punch. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be a long video because it's going to be like 5 to 10 minutes of analyzing Typhlosion, what makes it strong and not strong, strengths and weaknesses of Thunder Punch, and Incinerate, because actually the fast move is actually something interesting to talk about too. And then we'll go into all the battles and my thoughts on it. So, Typhlosion got Thunder Punch and everyone lost their freaking mind. And then you look at the rankings and it's at 242. And a bunch of content creators already put out being like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Okay, so let's look at a few things here. And we're going to start with what we always do. So again, if you're new to this channel, there's 3 things you need to check for the Pokemon to find out if it's going to be good in any league. Stat product, movesets, and typings. So, stat products. Stat product is not the greatest. It is 132 attack, 108 defense, 117 stamina, and it puts it in a really awkward situation. So what I actually did is, just to give you an idea here, I put up a bunch of Pokemon. So Feraligatr and Swampert are very similar with their stat product. Slight lower attack, 123, but higher defense and stamina, 117, 124. And Swampert is very, very similar, 122, 108, but higher there, 136, right? So higher overall stat product because they slightly lower attack, but higher in the defense and stamina, which gives them that sort of 1800 overall. That's probably 1800 overall stat product for the two of them. Surf Edge is sort of on the other end as your glass cannon, right? 145 attack, almost 146 with 107 defense, 98 stamina. So really, really low defense and stamina, really low overall stat product, but it had like a glass cannon, truly. Typhlosion fits in with Charizard and Togedemaru. So Charizard right here, 132 attack, 108 defense, 117 stamina for 1600 overall. And same with Togedemaru. 132 with 106, 121 for 1600 overall. So very, very similar to what we're seeing on Typhlosion with 132, 108, 117 for 1675 overall. So again, it puts them in this. It puts it in the same stat product category as Charizard, Togedemaru, which are like not amazing, but they get by on their move sets, right? Wing Attack, Blast Burn for Charizard, and Thunder Shock, Wild Charge for Togedemaru. So now let's talk about that moveset. And the moveset is interesting. Before we even get into Thunder Punch, it's not even a debate, but there is something that you need to think about with the fast move. So Incinerate and Shadow Claw, both 4 energy moves, but the same type attack bonus on a already crazy Incinerate. It makes this a 5.76. So is there any reason to not run it? So PV Poke said it best here. Fun Typhlosion fact. Oops, can you see that? Fun Typhlosion fact. Resisted Incinerate has the same DPE, so damage per turn, as neutral Shadow Claw, and super effective Shadow Claw has the same damage per turn as neutral Incinerate. If you use Shadow Claw, it's only for the 2-turn duration. So basically what this saying is, Incinerate is almost better. Is like, there's very few scenarios where Incinerate is not the best move, right? Like the only offset is like if Incinerate is like resisted and Shadow Claw is like super effective. Otherwise, like Incinerate is the better move in terms of damage, and they have the same energy. So why would you use Shadow Claw? You would only use Shadow Claw for I think 2 reasons. One is if you are truly hunting ghost Pokemon, so Annihilate, and no, but even then it's not even worth it. Actually, scratch that. Sorry. You wouldn't even use it in those scenarios because, again, what PV Poke just said, a super effective Shadow Claw has the same damage per turn as a neutral Incinerate. So if you're hunting Ghost, even doing super effective against Annihilate, you're still doing the same damage per turn as you would with Incinerate. So that doesn't even matter. So take out that reason. PV Poke's the best. This is why it's right. You're only using it for the 2-turn fast move. Shadow Claw is a 2-turn fast move. Incinerate is a 5. 5-turn fast moves are very, very tricky, and they're very tricky on a Pokemon that is very glassy, right? Those 5-turn moves take a long time to get to. You can get caught in the animation, and it's very tough to fast move optimize, which is very difficult to do when you're a very glassy Pokemon to begin with, right? So go watch my video on fast move optimization. So if you're against a 1-turn Pokemon, 1 turn Pokemon, that's fine. 2 turn Pokemon, that's fine, because you just throw 1 Incinerate and throw the move. The problem is if you are on a 3 or 4 turn Pokemon, because then Incinerate is on the 3, you throw it on 1 Incinerate, because that's 3, 6. That's fine. But then it gets tricky, because if you throw it on 2, that's 10. They'll get 12. It's a little extra damage. That's not bad. And then 3 would actually be CMP, because they would do 5, you would do 3 to 15. So you can't throw it on there. So then you have to throw a 4th. And by your 4th one, you're already at 80 energy, and they're probably throwing a move, and then you reset back to the beginning, and then it's all messed up again. And same with the 4, right? You throw it, actually not even on 1, because 1 would get them 8. You'd have to throw it on 3. You'd have to throw 3 Incinerates to get to 15, and they would have thrown 4 turn moves to get to 16. But again, the probabilities of that happening are very low in a matchup, especially with switches in and out and stuff like that. So Incinerate is tricky. 5 turn moves are tricky. But I still think, personally, having used Incinerate today, that is well worth it, and then the damage makes it obvious. Okay. Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is your only bait move on this Pokemon that you now have. So you have Blast Burn, which, again, I'm looking at the Shadow here. So you're getting that Shadow bonus on top of this. Shadow Blast Burn on Typhlosion does an insane amount of damage. 158.4. You're going to see me Blast Burn a Skeledirge. That actually won me the matchup. I should have lost the matchup, but I Blast Burn a Skeledirge, and it did way more than you would expect it to do. So Blast Burn, you're throwing it in every single scenario. Any neutral scenario, even honestly, if it's super effective versus neutral, I think you throw Blast Burn, because you throw Blast Burn in neutral. Even if Thunder Punch is super effective, you're throwing a neutral Blast Burn because it just does that much more damage. So what's Thunder Punch valuable for? Bait, and that's all it is. So again, 1.65 damage per energy. Again, that's kind of a false. It's not false, but that's got that Shadow bonus on top of it. So if you're looking at just damage per energy on the non-Shadow one, right? Now you get back to reality with 132 for Blast Burn, 2.64, which is still insane, but Thunder Punch, 55 for 1.38. So it's a pretty bad move overall. We'll go to the Shadow because that's what I use, and that's what I think most people use. And given how glassy this Pokemon is, you probably want to use it as well. Nope, not Charizard, sorry. Typhlosion. So, was it an interesting move to use? Yes, because you can look at the fast counts here. 2, 2, 2, 2. So it only takes 2 Incinerates to get to a Thunder Punch, right? So think about that again with your other Incinerate users, right? Talonflame. Actually, why don't we just bring those up here? So we got Typhlosion, Talonflame, and Skeledirge. So these are also your Incinerate users, and when you look at their stats, to get to the first move on all of these is 3, right? Disarming Voice and Shadow Ball is the main one that's being used, but it takes three fast moves to get to your first Shadow Ball and 3 to get to your first Disarming Voice, and then it's 2, 2, 2 after on Disarming Voice, but it's actually still 3, 3 on Shadow Ball. And it's the same with your Talonflame. It takes 3 Incinerates to get to the first Fly, and same with the first Flame Charge, and then it's 2 on the next one, and then if you go Flame Charge again, it's another 3, but 2, 2 for the Fly. So just being able to go 2, 2, 2, 2 on the Thunder Punch is great for Typhlosion. And even worst case scenario, going 3, 2, 3, 2 on Blast Burn is quite strong. So that's the one thing I actually noticed with Typhlosion is just holy smokes, I'm at another Thunder Punch, and then when you're throwing these Thunder Punches, sometimes in super effective situations, as a Shadow, they really add up. So it's pretty good there. Let's look at typing, and then let's look at some matchups, and then we'll actually go into my battle. So this can be a longer video, but that's okay. You guys like these deep dives. Fire, garbage. Rest in peace, my Kanto Ninetales. Ground, rock, water. Everywhere in this meta are those 3 typings. So the typing sucks. Ground. So waters, you got still all your waters. Mud Boys, Poliwrath, Mantines, all those. Ground, you got some Glygars out there. You got, again, Mudboy's already mentioned, but you have your other ground Pokemon like Clodsire and stuff like that. Rock, Bastiodon, Carbink, right? And then what you don't see here is Incinerate is resisted by quite a lot of things, right? So Incinerate is resisted by Rock, Water, Dragon, Rock, Water, Dragon. Is it resisted by anything else? Other Fire. Other fires in mirror matches, it's resisted by that. So there's a lot of things that Incinerate is actually resisted by. Again, it's such a hard-hitting move, so it's not the worst, but there's a lot of things that resist it. So, and then your resistances that you have as a fire are not amazing. Like grass is, again, we couldn't even find grass in an all-water meta last year. Steel, nice for Skarmory, but you're just going to incinerate it anyways. Not a ton of ice Pokemon, not a ton of fire Pokemon. Fairies is nice. And then Bug, not a ton of that, right? So the typing, I would say, is bad. So your stat product is not the best. Your move set is now, your Incinerate, Blast Burn is insane. Thunder Punch actually does decent, and then Fire, not bad. So I throw in PV Poke, I threw in Incinerate versus Shadow Claw just so you can see the difference. And the difference is 2 more wins for Incinerate, but a way higher average. And the higher average comes through in a couple situations here. So it comes through like, you're going to see just like, obviously Vigoroth, Shadow Claw's resistance, you're picking up there. But it's also like the wins you're picking up because you're like, you flip Umbreon here with Incinerate. So that does like a crazy amount of like difference here. That's like over 200 here. There's like 600 difference between Shadow Claw and Incinerate on Sandslash, right? So you're really, that's where you're seeing such a crazy average, is because like the differences in Incinerate that you pick up are huge. Stunfisk, same thing, which is super effective there. So there's other matchups where it doesn't seem to do as much. Like Poliwrath is still, you're still generally going to lose that. Most waters, dragons, like here's the stuff that starts resisting you, right? Guzzlord, Lantern, although you do chip more on Gligar here. Although, interesting. Oh no. Yeah, that's the non-Shadow Gligar you win with Shadow Claw. And this is like the true 2-turn difference here. Like there's no real reason you should win against one versus the other unless it's like the 2-turn move allows you to get to a move 4 as opposed to Incinerate, which keeps you in 5 move longer. Okay, 12 minutes in and we haven't even started the battles. So team building was interesting. I don't think I would suggest this team, but the problem again is you need to cover. So this team doesn't really cover water well. So right off the bat, I would probably do better. But you also need to cover rock. And then it's because you're like, okay, why don't you just cover rock and water with grass Pokemon? Because don't those answer it? Yes, until you get to the flyers like Pelipper, Mantine, which would then just beat the grass and Typhlosion. So then you'd be double weak to that there. So it really is. And then it's like rock. You need to cover rock weakness too. So you could try fighter, but then that still leaves you with the flying weakness. So the fire is very hard to team build with. And that's what I noticed with my Kanto Ninetales. Like I really wanted to use Kanto Ninetales last time. And every time I used it, first of all, every time I used it, I got Bastiodon and Whiscash and just hard countered on the like lead when I used it. But then it's like, how do you build with that? You need to really cover so many of the open Great League meta Pokemon with only 2 Pokemon. So it's quite difficult to do. So I used Sandslash and Gligar just because, Sandslash is going to cover your flyers well, like Mantine and stuff. It's going to cover, you can like deal with water, right? Because you're just like neutral with Claw and Drill Run on water. And you can like do well with rock with the Drill Run, and then Gligar, same thing, having the dig for the rock and stuff like that. So let's look at some battles. Let's see it in action here. So Skarmory, neutral-ish lead. Again, Steel Wing hitting neutral on you. And they really add up on Sandslash here. So I'll get to the move. I'm worried I think I shield because I was worried about a Brave Bird. So I think I shield the first one up here. knowing that I can outpace, even if they go Sky Attack, I can definitely outpace the next move and then figure out what I want to do from here. Right, so I'm at 2 moves. And if we CMP, I'm going to win CMP against a Skarmory. So perfect. They shield, 1 CMP. This will take out or grab the second shield. Both are good scenarios. Okay, so they are going to take me out here. I imagine I'm going to come Incinerate and just delete this in a second here. Yep, so does not quite take out on the first. That's even better. So I'm already at the Thunder Punch. 1 more and I will get to a Blast Burn. It is Dragology, so I'm going to bank that and come in here. And I guess we're not even going to see it in action because I just... Gligar is going to sweep the back line. Okay, number 2. Same situation. Good to know that the meta's changed so much. They try to catch on a Cresselia, so not going to do much here. So they grab 1 shield. I grab 1 shield. I'll still chip here. Future Sight would probably... I don't know if it takes me out from this range, but it would put me pretty close. So I wouldn't be surprised if I shield back. Yeah, I shield back a Future Sight just because it would take me low. And just because I know I'm going to just outpace and come out with some energy too. And I can get alignment now, right? So I know the Skarmory's on the front here. And they shield again. So I'm going to do this exact same thing because I really want alignment here. And they get up into Charger Bug. So now they just switch lock themselves with the Charger Bug on this. And well, hopefully we'll get to see. Even if Typhlosion does not make an appearance in these first couple battles, I got like 10 battles here. And there's definitely some Typhlosion stuff I'm going to showcase in these battles. So Gligar, not quite enough to take them out. What I think I'm going to do here, though, is basically just sacrifice Sandslash. I wouldn't be surprised if I come Sandslash and force them to like throw a move like a Brave Bird and then just come in. Oh, I have a move too. Typhlosion's even going to... I guess I should start labeling like how strong. I have some labeled Sandslash, like a Typhlosion Great or Typhlosion Meh. So I'll farm down here. And then again, just getting to a move in 2 is huge. Like it is a game changer to be able to get to a Thunder Punch in 2. Okay, Goodra, great lead, obviously. It is a double. So a little slow on the change there, like really slow on the change as a counter user. Like I should be instant swapping Gligar there. So now I'm already there. They already threw 1 Body Slam. So now I'm just going to get outpaced here is the problem. Not counters. Double kick is resisted, but I'm just going to get outpaced here. So I'm baiting here. It's not even really a bait. I just don't think Dig is going to take them out anyways. Well, we're about to find out because I think I'll probably shield and try and throw a Dig to find out, but I don't think it takes out. So I'm not liking how I'm playing this. And with Typhlosion, you need shields. So really what I should have done is like come Typhlosion, let Gligar go, come Typhlosion and just get ahead on energy. Because now I'm going to lose alignment anyways. And there's your Skeledirge. So, okay. Going to have to draw in. They're not going to let it go. That gets down in 1 second here. Like those Incinerates though, like that's resisted Incinerates chunking like crazy. Here's one specific matchup you would want Shadow Claw. You would do super effective with Shadow Claw and they would do resisted with, well, as opposed to resisted Incinerates. As you saw, it does not take out here. I just go back to back. I probably should have, and this is a mistake. This is again, just not knowing. Again, I don't think I was going to win anyways, but this is a perfect scenario of not knowing your Pokemon yet. Blast Burn from this range will take out, right? It's already at a yellow. Blast Burn from this range will 100% take out. Instead of doing that, I just do the Thunder Punch, which does not quite take it out, and then I have to burn more energy. If I just go Blast Burn, I still have a bunch of energy left over. Instead, I waste 2 here. So pretty dumb on my part here. Again, it's not dumb. It's just not knowing how much Thunder Punch is going to do. So I have to go back to back. I don't want to take any moves from them, but now I'm dry. going against a dragon, which is just Dragon Breath me down. So again, I don't even think I would have taken this out with Blast Burn. Anyways, because Guja's pretty tanky, but still, like you gotta just be aware of that stuff. Okay, there's your water Pokemon. A water dark that resists the Shadow Claw at that. So pretty tough lead here. Gotta take one Hydro Cannon, that's fine, and they get out into Frostlass. So I'm very slowly gonna get out here. I will shield up a Shadow Ball because again, anything's gonna take you out. But now, this will be my third Incinerate, and it takes one more. So hello, I'm now at 2 Thunder Punches. I'm at 80 energy, so I'm gonna throw one more to get to the 100 just to try to fast move as best I can there. So now I'm at 100 energy. There's the first Thunder Punch. Here comes another Incinerate. I'm going to shield, and I'm at 2 more Thunder Punches. So this is like a prime example of like, holy crap, this Thunder Punch comes so fast. So here's the second Thunder Punch, and here's a third Thunder Punch. 2, 2, 2 with these Incinerates. Able to take out this Greninja, and it looks like they just spun out here, but still, like, it's insane how fast these Thunder Punches charge. And it is a Shadow Vic in the back, which again, 3 will take it out, but I also had a Flyer in the back, so it's not like I was going to lose that anyways. Galvantula, neutral lead. They have to throw Discharge. I'll live a Discharge, so I don't need to shield this. And they just go Lunge. Which is not a bad idea. I think they know they weren't going to get to, like, Discharge probably doesn't take me out, but now the Volt Switches would have, but so I get back to back here, which is huge. So basically what's going to happen is they shield and just farm. So I'm going to have to take this on Gligar. I'm looking at Galv. I'm going to take these resisted moves on Gligar and basically just try and go 2 shield. Typhlosion in the back. Again, your team reading here, right? Galvantula is going to have an insane problem with something like a ground steel. So they're unlikely to have a rock type user like Carbink in the back. So here is a 1498 Azumarill. Which again, I'm timing bad here. Well, I'm not timing bad here, but the bubbles are adding up so much. But these Thunder Punches, an insane amount of chunk here. It will take it out with 2. Unfortunately, I get to 1 more move, which is nice. How much is the Thunder Punch going to do to a very bulky Altaria? Right? So not the best, not the worst. But now I'm at 100 energy here. So I think I get to go back-to-back to win this. Yeah, I do go back-to-back to win this matchup. So able to take that despite not having a ton of movement on Typhlosion in the back here. Terrible lead. Gonna go Gligar. Let's see what I get punished with. I don't shield. I remember this. Is this the one I don't shield? I remember going into a Gligar versus mini matchup, and for some reason I don't shield one of them. Okay, this one I do shield. Maybe it's another matchup. I don't shield an Ice Punch, and it takes me to like the red. I'm like, why did I do that? But now I'm down shields. Here's your water problem that I mentioned earlier. Again, you might not want to use this exact team, but again, you got to try and cover all those weaknesses, which is tough. So now I just need to let this go and just hope that Sandslash can get this out. Hope it doesn't have Hydro Pump. If it has Hydro Pump, we're in a little bit of trouble here. I think, is this the one that had Hydro Pump? I put on so many matchups already. So Drill Run, not enough to take it out. I assumed Ice Beam, Play Rough, but if this is Hydro, we are in trouble. Goodbye, Sandslash. I now have to take some bubbles, so I'm going to throw this immediately, right? So this is just like 2 Incinerates, so Thunder Punch is great. Take it out. There's the Medi. Doesn't get to a move. What's in the back? Why are you wasting my time? Just come in immediately. I threw this, so I was like, maybe they'll let it go. I can see how much it does. But they shield. Just like, Just come in Bastiodon anyways. Like, what are you doing? Just end this matchup. Okay. Cress again. I mean, not again. Cress. I've seen Cress, but not on the lead before. So this is good. Maybe I'm seeing a catch coming. Yeah, I didn't throw it right away because I'm like, maybe they're just going to try and catch a drill run right on the 6 here. So I stayed. I can live 1. I'm definitely not going to use a shield here. Resist the grass knot. That's fine. Out comes your Medi. Out comes your Gligar. This is probably where I lost switch here. Use the shield. Use the shield. Okay. So it takes me down to the red. And now I'm not even going to get off a second aerial ace. So not in a good situation here at all. My own doing. So now I just got to come in, incinerate. I got to shield up anything. These counters are adding up because you're so glassy. So I shield up Psychic. That's fine. Looks like my defense is lowered. So these counters are adding up a ton. Thunder Punching to get this out, but the damage is done on this. I'm going to instant swap here, and it is a Skeledirge. I think this is the one. So get to a Blast Burn. Rightfully throw a Blast Burn. Now it's not in the yellow, so it'll live, but almost take it out, right? So if I threw the Blast Burn with it at 50%, it would 100% take it out. So I'll shield. I get an Incinerate off. And I get one more Incinerate off. And I guess they're not at a move yet. And this Blast Burn will take out. So sweeping in the back end with an attack heavy Pokemon here. So it definitely had some play. Now the question is, as I get into a matchup where I'm probably going to lose, mirror match, okay. Although fighting for a switch for what? Although I think I remember taking this. Let me just do this one and then we'll talk about my final thoughts on this, even though there's 4.5 minutes left. So the first one go. I think I'm going to win CMP because I have an 8 attack Gligar, so I'm most likely going to win CMP. So I'll probably try and CMP right here, and that's exactly what happens, that I'm going to win CMP. So I'm either going to flip switch or grab a shield and then figure out what I want to do from there. So they shield. You just didn't see it. I think I let this go. Yeah. I think the final play is let this go, come in, Typhlosion, incinerate, shield a move, but come out with 1 Thunder Punch, maybe 1.5 here. So the second one will register. Let's see if it takes it out. It does take it out, or I guess they transferred. But now I got some Thunder Punches. So this will start to chip here. So there's 1 shield. Here, their shield's down now. So this will do chip, and then I'm going to have to try and sweep with Sand Slash. Is essentially what's going to happen here. So that's good chip. They're going to have to throw, or else I'm going to... And then I think I just come in and claw the rest to come out. Oh, okay. Or I'm going to do this. I'm going to catch here. Okay. Save it. Take it out there. Have some energy left on the Typhlosion. It is superior in the back. Just don't need... I got to watch for the catch. Sanitas just will win this as long as they don't catch on the Gligar. So I'll take a move. And then you're going to see I remember pausing here to make sure they don't catch. Pause. No, thank you. And then I get to the move here. Terrible lead. Gligar. They're going to body slam me and then eventually take me. I think I lose this one and maybe win the next one. Anyways, 2.5 minutes left to give you my final thoughts on Typhlosion and where it is in the meta. Catch on Tropius. That's not going to work. Okay, so as you see, it is rank 240, 242, something like that. Now, PV Poke is done in the 1 shield even energy scenario, which with Typhlosion, I would recommend not running that scenario. I would recommend running a shield advantage scenario with it, because then you'll do great. It has... The question is, like, can its strengths of... I think Thunder Punch is obviously a huge upgrade for this. It needed a bait move. Having already the best fast move, and again, Incinerate for damage and energy is the best fast move in the game. Why it's a drawback is because it's a 5-turn move. Otherwise, it's the best fast move in the game. having the best fast move in the game with Incinerate, with an insane community move with Blast Burn, and now having a bait move makes this Pokemon much better. As you're seeing here against other spammy Pokemon, you have a problem. You have a problem against... Oh, 1 minute left. You know what this team is, and this team is going to just get killed in the back here, which you love to see. So movesets, great. Problems that I foresee. The meta is still very much water dominated, ground dominated, with your Bastiodon and your Carbinks around. So you need to cover 15 to 18 meta Pokemon with your 2 other Pokemon to offset those weaknesses. So right off the bat, Fire is a tricky one to use, and that's why you don't see it much in the Great League anymore. Skeledirge kind of made a little bit of a comeback there. I mean, kind of made Fire come back a little bit there, but otherwise still a tricky situation to be in. So that's the that's the con from a typing perspective, because the meta is very much everywhere to be water, rock, and ground. Move perspective, Thunder Punch is an improvement. Is it enough improvement to become a meta Pokemon? I don't know. I don't think so. And the only reason I say I don't think so is because the reason it's ranked so low is just because the meta is not conducive to a fire type Pokemon. Even if that fire type Pokemon has an insane moveset. See, where the difference is let me just look at Skeledirge's stat product here. Because why Skeledirge gets by, it gets by for 2 reasons. It gets by on its typing. That half ghost typing is really interesting, because now it's not even that you're like resisting more stuff. Like, you still have 5 weaknesses. You still have the water, ground, and rock, and now you add ghost and dark. But that ghost typing picks up a double normal resistance, picks up a double fighting resistance, a double bug resistance, and then the other one, steel, poison, picks up a poison resistance, right? So lots of pickups with that ghost typing, which is huge there. And the other thing that has going for it is its stat product. It falls into the Swampert Feraligatr range. 121 attack, 109 defense, 139 stamina for an 1840 overall. So you're looking at a Pokemon with a 200 plus higher stat product. So a 200 plus higher stat product, a way better secondary typing with Ghost to add on a ton of resistances, the same fast move in Incinerate. Shadow Ball is a great move, a little higher, 55 energy, but a great move. And then Disarming Voice for coverage is 45. So again, I would actually give the secondary moves to Typhlosion. Like, I would rather have Blast Burn and Thunder Punch over Shadow Ball and Disarming Voice, but I would rather have the stat product of Skeledirge and the secondary typing of Skeledirge far more than I would Typhlosion. So I don't even know if Typhlosion replaces Skeledirge, quite honestly. And again, Skeledirge is only kind of gets by somewhat because the Shadow Ball and Fairy Disarming Voice has an insane amount of coverage, right? As opposed to Blast Burn, yes, Blast Burn is a nuke. But like I said, rock, water, other fires, what was the 4th one? Dragon, all resist fire. So having that move, there's a lot of stuff that resists your main move here, which, again, it's still a nuke, so you still probably throw it in even resisted scenarios, but it just has more limitations. So that is Typhlosion. Again, let me put it this way. I think it plays better than 247. Quite honest, 242, whatever it's ranked. I think it plays way better than 242. Personally, I would put it in like the top 100. I don't know if I'm putting it into like the top 50. And again, I put it below the top 50 for just the two reasons. Typing / state of the meta, and stat product is just not conducive for the Great League at the moment. So great moveset, great updates for it. Definitely will have some play, especially in like limited metas, perhaps if you don't have as many like if Poliwrath, again, I forget what the Great League remix, but if you have like, I know Whiscash is banned, if you have like Bastiodon banned, if you have Carping banned, if you have a bunch of those Pokemon banned, if you don't have as many weaknesses out there, it probably has more play. But just in the open meta, it probably hovers around that like 75 to 100 range ranking. 240, I think 247 is way too low. 242 is way too low. But I definitely would not put this in like a top 30 to 40 Pokemon that you need to build up. So that is it. That is Beyond the Hype of Typhlosion. Tomorrow, so two things. If you made it this far, thank you. Two things. Tomorrow, no, let's start with this afternoon. So I wanted to shoot another viewer video this afternoon because you guys have seemed to like that, but I got caught with having to go in an extra day of work in the office. So I can't shoot it in the morning. So I'm going to have to just not recycle. I'm going to use a Chestnut video that I shot earlier, not even with Thunder Punch, but earlier, like I shot a couple days ago that I was going to use in one of the mornings. So you will not see a viewer submitted this afternoon, but I will repeat. I'll start those again tomorrow. And the second thing is I got one more Beyond the Hype, Sea Titan. I built that up. I don't have the XLs or the Hundos for the baby one, but I do have the Sea Titan. So I built that up and I used it and I have some thoughts on it. So that will be my Beyond the Hype tomorrow morning with the viewer submitted battles. So you'll see Chestnut this afternoon, which is mine. Beyond the Hype Sea Titan tomorrow morning. Viewer submitted tomorrow afternoon. And then we'll go back on the schedule of 1-1 because I have like at least Altaria and Magnezone already built, and then I'm working on a one with Trevenant Carping combo. So stay tuned for those plus viewer submissions. And the last thing I'll say with the viewer submissions is I will definitely not get to, because again, I think I'm up to like 15 to 20 viewer submissions. You guys are just, thank you so much. You guys are just sending all them in. You guys are seeming to like the series. Okay, there, I'm back. The problem is Open Great League is not back until June 21st, June 20th. So the good news is June 21st, June 28th, I'm going to spam like all of your viewer submitted battles and do that analysis, probably maybe even morning and night because there's so many of them. So I can probably just, that June 21st, 28th week, I can probably just do like 14 viewer submitted battles and allow me to focus on like my grinding. Ultra League next week with Summer Cup, and there's 2 weeks of Summer Cup. So I'll probably split next week between Ultra League and Summer Cup, and then Summer Cup when Match League is on, just do Summer Cup. But if you have Match League videos, if you have Ultra League videos, Match League videos, or Summer Cup videos coming up, hit that link in the description. I still need to make a video on how to actually do that, but that's on my to-do list. I just don't have time right now. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful. And I'll see you guys in the next one.